Thank you, Sister Jackson. And I also want to thank the Student Sunday School Union for inviting me to come speak today, and congratulate the graduates for finishing your secondary and primary education and graduating from high school. I do, over the next couple minutes, want to switch gears a little bit and go from celebration to preparation. Throughout this whole entire area, Kenneth just graduated yesterday. There's probably parties going on over here. People are celebrating graduation. They're celebrating this accomplishment of giving a diploma. We're honoring the students because it's a completion or ending of a process. And for some people that's warranted. We have a lot of families where they were just hoping the person would get out of school. So they have a big celebration. But the reality is graduation is less about ending a process, but it's more about beginning a process. Graduation is your beginning of adulthood. So I want to welcome all of you to the real world. The challenge of being in the real world is that, unfortunately, most young adults aren't equipped before they enter this process. It is not all their fault. We prepare them a lot physically, because in our society, we're more geared toward equipping people with physical things to help them transition to the next level. We give them money, we give them cars, we give them housing, acceptance to college, jobs, employment, and these are all external situations for success. But most of the time, young adults are not equipped mentally and emotionally to deal with the next phase and challenges in their life. And I know from that personal experience. But think about it. Why does this happen? For many of us as parents, things have changed a lot over the last 10, 15, or 20 years. And from generation to generation, what we experience and what they experience is totally different. It's extremely challenging to prepare your children for things you've never experienced before. Like today in school, they have smartphones. When I was a senior in high school, I had a $1/4 payphone. You know what I'm talking about? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Yeah. There was no internet. There was no Facebook. There was no Twitter, no Instagram. None of that stuff. If I wanted to send a text message, that was me ripping out a piece of paper, writing on a note, and passing it down the aisle for the person in the front to get the note. I want to meet you at lunchtime. You and me want to sit together. Now they pull out their phone and they start typing. Think about it. How many people Google other individuals before they have a meeting or an interview? Now a lot of companies check a LinkedIn profile to see your resume online before they even invite you to come in. None of that stuff was heard of when a lot of us were going into school. Society has changed a lot. We think about it, when we were in school, school was a safe haven. Now, schools have a lot of violent acts. That's part of our culture. We just see it and it's like, oh, here's another one. So we didn't experience these things, but yet we are charged with equipping these adults with those type of challenges and having them to go face through them. We don't know what it was like because we weren't there. I see parents now on Facebook and Twitter. Anyone here have a Facebook, Twitter, social media account? Anyone? I know some of you do. You don't want to admit it. All right, that's fine. It's all right. I'll find you later. Don't worry about it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I know your name. I see parents doing the wrong thing on social media, so I know their children are going to just follow their example. They're posting pictures they shouldn't post, saying things they shouldn't say. People are getting fired every day from their job by what they type. But yet they're trying to tell their children what to do and what not to do. So now we have these individuals switching between one season and another season. See, 19 years ago, I was in the same position you were in today. And some of you were there when I graduated high school. I know Mr. Akins was there because his son graduated with me. I graduated from Avonbrook. And I was excited that day. I was so excited because I was just done. I was so glad to get out. I had 12 years of being in that place, and now I'm finished. You finally finished. I was so excited what I accomplished and where I was going. I got accepted to the University of Delaware. UD was the only school for me. I only applied to one college because I knew that's where I wanted to go. That's where I was wanting to get in. Because it was the top school for what I wanted to study. And it was the #1 school in Delaware. And I couldn't wait to go there and start that next season of my life. The challenge was I was a first-generation college student. My parents had never gone to college before. They didn't know what it was like to live on campus and be in the dorm for a 4-year college experience. So they could prepare me to a certain extent, but they couldn't totally prepare me for everything I was about to go through, all the challenges I was going to face. But I thought at that point in time in my life that I was prepared. I thought I was totally ready for everything they had because I had gone through different college preparatory programs. I'd been in all these college training classes. But when I got to campus, I didn't realize that within 3 years I was flunked out of school. Now, some of you probably wonder, like, how is this person talking about succeeding in college when he failed out himself? Well, life teaches you in 2 ways. You can learn from other people's examples, or you can learn from your own examples. Unfortunately, I had to be the example to learn from. See, I thought I was a smart kid, because in high school, I was one of the top students. I was a scholar athlete. I was in marching band, college prep classes. I was doing all the stuff they told me I was supposed to do. So I said, I knew I was going to succeed when I got to college. I never imagined my wildest dreams I would fail out. But unfortunately, I did because of my decision making. The choices I was coming across, the choices I was making in schools. See, I wasn't fully equipped for what was going to happen to me. But by failing out, I was able to learn something. And this is why I'm here today. That process of failing out of school was a wake-up call for me. That's when I realized I was in the real world. And that every decision and choice I made was going to dramatically impact my future. That I was just tilling the ground for what was going to come along later. So a lot of times as young adults, you don't think about what you do today and how it's going to affect you in the future. And I'm here today to equip you from some strategies and some principles that are going to change that for you. See, I didn't realize that being in the real world, I can no longer live my life by other people's expectations. So what got me through elementary school, high school, into college was my parents, my teachers, the people I went to church with, my friends, my people in my neighborhood, like Mrs. Roberts. Those are the ones who guided me along the way. They set the expectations. They told me what to do, what not to do. Now I'm out the house, I'm in college on my own. I was the one that had to call all the shots. And when you're the one calling all the shots, you never called them before, you call some wrong shots. And then you add all these bad choices up over time. Next thing I knew, I'm sitting here getting a letter from the university saying, don't come back. We don't want your money no more. Because if you don't pass, they will tell you, don't come back. But I was fortunate. I was able to bounce back from that experience. And the journey I went through bouncing back is what really caused me to be where I am today. See, this led me to start writing books, doing talks all over the country for high school, college students, and to start writing about my experience. I wanted today's students to benefit from all the mistakes that I went through, which is why I wrote a book, actually 2 books, a whole series called What I Wish I Knew When I Was in College and What I Wish I Knew When I Was in High School. Because I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and if I could just go ahead and take what's in my head, put it on paper, and give it to them, they'll be further equipped to go along to the next level. See, as I was writing these books, I started to catalog some principles about success. I cataloged what the life lessons that life taught me. Because here's the thing about life most people don't realize. See, life will give you the test before you taught the lesson. And life is not like the educational system we have today. It doesn't pass you if you fail. You'll keep going through the same test over and over again until you pass it. Because we have people in our families and our communities, they're going through the same year of experience over and over again, thinking they're just getting different stuff. But their last year in life is the same as the year they had before. Nothing's really changing for them. And they don't know why, because they haven't passed the test yet. So I thought, if I could take all the tests that I failed, all the tests that I passed, and pass that on to these young people coming up nowadays, it could just take what I went through and get the glory out of it for them. Does this make any sense what I'm saying here today? So I cataloged all these lessons I thought every student needs to know to be successful in school, life, leadership, and a career. And one of the lessons I cataloged was this lesson of keeping it real. This is what the world taught me. The real world taught me to keep it real. Now some of you heard that phrase in hip-hop, they use it all the time, keep it real, but that's not what I mean. See, keeping it real is understanding what it takes to succeed as an adult. See, real is this. R, responsibility. E, endurance. A, assessment. And L, limitations. If you don't understand these concepts, you're going to have a hard time navigating your way through adulthood. See, the first